you've developed like a really tight knit community on your Instagram. And can you kind of speak to how you've done that a little bit?
Yeah, I pretty much I talk to people on there. Like I don't ignore people. I know that you don't have to talk to and respond to everybody, but I knew that if I actually engaged with people that were showing interest in me, that it would work out better. And to say that because there are so many people that are trying to grow their Instagram and say things like, hey, comment, hey, do this. Like people could see right through all that stuff. So I never really wanted to be cheesy with that and just be honest. But it really irritated me when all these people would say like, hey, like and comment and then people would like and comment and they would never acknowledge anything that these people said. And in my mind, it's like I could literally look up the same genre of any of this stuff and find somebody that would talk back to me, you know? And so I didn't want to be that one person that um, was going to grow an audience and never, and like take it for granted. So DMs, comments, Instagram, Twitter, all this stuff, I try to take the time to at least acknowledge everybody with either a salutations or a thank you. It's a pet peeve of mine to just leave like a like on a message in a DM or just like a like on a comment because even though that is an acknowledgement, it's really not that personal, in my opinion. Um, so even if it takes me 10 or 15 seconds more to say thank you, and this is one of the things I do too. Like when I reply back to a comment, I don't just write thank you, I write thank you. And then even if I'm not following that person, I will go look on their Instagram to see what their actual name is. And then I'll write back thank you, like Olivia, or thank you, Matt, just so they know like I appreciate your comment, and I'm gonna show that I appreciated that by taking the time to look up what your name is and say thank you to your face, so to speak, instead of like a generic "oh, thanks."
Hmm. And you also do that thing on your Instagram stories where you'll put like on the air and people can ask you questions and stuff. I've seen you do that quite a bit too.
Yeah, that's so I had an idea in Seattle which never panned out. I wanted to go to like colleges and just have like two chairs and have like a free listening type station where I would just put like a sign on the other chair and it would just be me sitting there in a Superman suit, and with whoever wanted to just sit down and kind of vent or talk or whatever it was. It would just be me listening to somebody for however many periods of time. That idea never actually panned out in Seattle. And so when I came to Montana, I a friend of mine, John, he's like, you could do that with stories if you just do something like that and then have people use the questions and answer stickers on stories. I was like, that's not a bad idea. So that's how that whole thing came up on the story format. But yeah, it's just a way for me to let other people know, or it's just a way for me to let people kind of share what they're going through, as well as be able to tell a secret without everybody knowing about it. Because sometimes, people just need to do that.
Hmm. I kind of want to go back to that original idea. Like, where does it come within you to have that idea to go and sit down on your own time, free of charge, and just talk to people and kind of hear people out? Like, where does that come from?
Uh, I think it just comes from how I was raised. I mean, before I even got the Superman suit, I have been kind of just that person that listens to everybody and tries to like kind of empathize or understand what people are going through and try to be that person that could inspire somebody to get through whatever they want or go through something. Like my mom named me Jonathan, which means God's gracious gift. So it's something that I personally try to aspire to live up to. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And I just have to realize that it's not about me sometimes. Like it's some people just don't really have an outlet for things. And if I can be an outlet for somebody to talk to, then so be it.
Mhm. And then back to the kind of on the air thing on your Instagram, like how much time are you spending replying to people on that and stuff?
It varies through the day. Like that day that I tested, I usually do it on Fridays because that's when it gets the most kind of traction. So I know that on Fridays at any given time, I'll have to keep keep my phone on me all the time to reply to reply to people a lot. But yeah, I'm spending pretty much a good amount of time reading answers and trying my best to write a good response with what I'm asked. But it is pretty time consuming, and honestly, that's pretty much the whole reason why I moved out here to Montana is to do all this stuff.